And it's time now to talk about your money. We're celebrating Independence Day by finding out how to become more financially independent. Here to give us some tips on achieving financial freedom is Better's finance and career expert, Maribel Aber. Welcome, Maribel.
Hi.
Talking about financial freedom, isn't that what we all want? I love this topic.
I know. You know, it's what I was talking about is knowing is half the battle, right? And it's true, because if you think about, there's a strategy beyond living paycheck to paycheck. You can empower yourself if you just set a goal. So, you know, we just talk about, oh, save, save, save. What does that mean? You got to set a target for yourself. That's where you start. So, you know, if you look at CNN Money or you look at any of the financial calculators, they tell you, okay, this is how much money you need to set aside to retire. You can use that same methodology to set aside how much money you want to start a new job or start a new business.
And it's nice to be able to actually see the number right there on the screen, but we're talking about cutting back. Now, if I cut back on my daily latte, is that enough, or what should we really consider?
You're on the right train thought. Okay, the idea is it's a lifestyle change. So we think about dieting, right, exercising, improving our lives. It's like calorie counting and watching points if you're on Weight Watchers. So you want to think about those things, but then think about, you know, your homeowner's insurance, your car insurance, find a good quote. And one of the great things I just was thinking about lately was checking your utilities, because that you might be able to get an audit and have trimmed down a little bit. But the bottom line is figure out how much you're spending and really think why you're making that decision. Okay,
so after we figure out where to make these cuts from, what should we do next? What should we be focusing on after that?
Well, after that, you want to focus on, you've got trimming the fat. So if we stay with this analogy, now you want to figure out how we build muscle. So when we talk about this from a financial sense, that's really thinking about how to grow for your long-term savings. And the net with that is you need, it's called recurring streams of revenue. So not to make it, you know, sound too scary, but it's really, in addition to your salary, you want something where your money's working for you. So whether it be investments, whether it be you invested in real estate, stocks, or you know, royalties in music or franchises. You need something in addition to what you're making and putting aside in your 401k.
And that can be really scary for a lot of people to try to invest in those type of things. Is there something you can recommend?
Well, if you're thinking about stocks and bonds, you know, we've always talked about looking for things that are bringing you a dividend return. That's what you want to look for. So, you know, we're talking about the GEs and all, you know, look at the Dow, all those top stocks.
What about tax breaks? Is that, you know, we hear a lot about that. You know, you can write this off, or something. Is that something we should really be thinking about?
Absolutely.
And focusing on?
Put that into your strategy, because you want to keep as much money as that you earn, right? So you want, look at the 401ks, look at the retirement in vehicles, your IRAs, because when you think about where your money is there, your investments are able to grow tax-free. So take advantage of that. If your company has a flexible spending account, a lot of times that's called for qualified investments, and a lot of times for medical expenses. All those expenses are payroll taxes, so you want to take advantage of that. And then, as you said, think ahead. Think about, you know, your charitable contributions if you're moving, you know, things like that. If you're looking for a new job and you're moving, that'd be something that may be taken into consideration. But always check irs.gov for any of the latest tax breaks.
Okay, and if people are a little intimidated right now, I have a feeling people are going, what?
Yeah.
What should they do to get started right now?
The first thing is change your frame of mind. Think of it as truly a lifestyle change. It's not scary. It's just a different way to be thinking about your relationship with your money. You know, everybody thinks about it's the first of the year, let's, you know, get on a better diet schedule. Think of 4th of July as a time that you can become financially independent, right? And it's a time that you can also, as you're doing it, teach your kids to do the same thing.
That's smart, because then they'll take that later in life.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you so much,
Thank
Maribel.
you.
All great tips. If you have questions for Maribel, you can email her at askmaribel@bettertv.com.